A civilization of millions vanishes without explanation. A Roman legion of 5,000 soldiers disappears into the mist. A tomb containing one of history's greatest conquerors remains hidden for 2,300 years. An entire colony of English settlers evaporates from the New World, leaving only a single cryptic word carved in wood. These aren't legends. They're documented historical events with one thing in common. We have no idea what really happened. Despite satellites, DNA analysis, ground-penetrating radar, and centuries of investigation, these 10 mysteries remain completely unsolved. Each one is verified by archaeological evidence and historical records. Each one defies every theory we've proposed. By the end of this video, you'll encounter the most baffling puzzles in human history, real events, real evidence, and absolutely no satisfactory explanations. Hit subscribe. Some questions have no answers. History is full of mysteries, but most eventually yield to modern investigation. DNA reveals ancient migrations. Carbon dating establishes timelines. Satellite imagery uncovers hidden cities. Linguistic analysis deciphers lost languages. But some mysteries resist every tool we have. The 10 cases we're exploring today share 3 characteristics. 1. Verified evidence. Archaeological remains, historical documentation, physical artifacts, not legends or folklore, but documented events too. Significant investigation. Decades or centuries of research, modern scientific analysis, applied multiple theories, proposed expert consensus. Still unsolved. 3. Fundamental questions. Not minor historical details, major civilizations, significant figures, important events. Answers would change our understanding of history. We're counting down from 10 to 1, saving the most baffling mystery for last. Each case is real, documented, and completely unexplained. If unsolved historical mysteries that modern science can't crack fascinate you, drop a like now. These 10 will blow your mind. Mystery 10. The Baigong Pipes. Near Qinghai Lake in China stands a pyramid-shaped mountain containing mysterious metal pipes dating back thousands of years. But the region had no civilization capable of metallurgy at that time. The discovery Chinese researchers discovered 3 caves in Mount Baigong. Front cave contains dozens of pipes penetrating the mountain. Pipes made of iron oxide, rusted iron, range from toothpick size to 40 centimeters in diameter. Some penetrate the mountain horizontally, others run into nearby Tosan Lake. The testing Chinese Academy of Sciences analyzed the pipes. Dated to approximately 150,000 years ago. Disputed. Chemical analysis shows 30%. Unidentifiable materials. Some pipes show artificial manufacturing characteristics. Salt Lake water contains similar iron content. The theory's natural formation. Root casts of ancient trees that fossilized natural mineral deposition in existing cracks. Geological processes creating pipe-like structures. Human-made. Ancient unknown civilization. Lost advanced technology, but no archaeological evidence supports this. Why its mysterious dating remains controversial. Formation mechanism. Unclear pattern. 2. Regular. 4. Natural formation. 2. Ancient for documented civilizations in region. Chemical composition. Partially unexplained. Current status. Most geologists lean toward natural formation, but the mechanism remains debated. Mystery 9. The Roanoke Colony. In 1587, 115 English settlers established a colony on Roanoke Island, North Carolina. 3 years later, they had completely vanished, leaving only a single word: Croton. The colony, led by John White, established on Roanoke Island. Outer Banks included women and children, first English colony with families. White returned to England for supplies. Delayed 3 years due to Anglo-Spanish War. Returned in 1590 to find complete abandonment. The evidence. What White found: empty settlement, no signs of struggle, personal belongings left behind. Croatoan, carved on a post. Cro, carved on a tree. Palisade walls intact, no attack evidence. The theories integrated with native tribes. Croton was name of nearby island and tribe. Settlers may have moved to join them. Some Croton descendants had European features. DNA evidence inconclusive, killed by Spanish or native attacks. But no bodies. No battle evidence. Unusual for complete disappearance. Starvation/disease. Possible but doesn't explain missing bodies. Why leave belongings? Move to Chesapeake region. Rumors from later Jamestown settlers. Possible relocation for better resources. Archaeological evidence limited. Why its mysterious complete disappearance with no remains. Croton clue leads nowhere. Definitive. No contemporary native accounts survive. Later English settlers found no conclusive evidence. Current status. Most historians think integration with natives most likely, but no proof. Mystery 8. The Plain of Jars. Scattered across the Xiang Kuang Plateau in Laos are thousands of massive stone jars, some weighing over 10 tons. No one knows who made them, when, or why. The site. The Plain of Jars features Over 2,000 stone jars across 90-plus sites, each jar carved from solid stone range from 1 meter to 3 meters tall, weigh from 600 kilograms to 10-plus tons, carved from local sandstone and granite, the archaeology research shows. Dated to 500 BCE, 500 CE, Iron Age. Found with human remains and artifacts. Some sites contain stone discs, possible lids. Quarries identified where jars were carved, evidence of sophisticated carving techniques. Theories: burial urns. Human remains found nearby, but jars seem too large and impractical. Why carve such massive containers? Fermentation vessels. Ancient wine or rice alcohol production size would allow large-scale fermentation, but no residue analysis confirms this. Water storage during caravans. Strategic locations along trade routes. Monsoon rainwater collection, but why not use simpler containers? Why its mysterious enormous effort for unknown purpose? Transportation of 10-ton jars. Unexplained. Culture that created them left little other trace. Function remains completely unclear. Similar structures exist nowhere else. Current status: UNESCO World Heritage Site. Ongoing research. No consensus on purpose. Mystery 7. The Olmec colossal heads. The Olmecs of ancient Mexico carved 17 massive stone heads, each weighing 20 to 50 tons and depicting individual faces. But how they transported stones 60-plus miles without wheels remains unexplained. The heads: Olmec colossal heads. Characteristics: 17 discovered to date, 1862 present, carved 1500 to 1000 BCE, weigh 6 to 50 tons each, up to 3.4 meters, 11 feet tall. Each shows distinct individual facial features. The material all carved from basalt. Source: Tuxtla Mountains. Distance from sites: 60 to 100 kilometers. Basalt blocks weighed 20 to 50 tons, transported over rivers and difficult terrain. Olmecs had no wheeled vehicles or draft animals. The mystery of transport: how did they move such massive stones? No wheels in pre-Columbian Mesoamerica. No horses or oxen for pulling rivers were used. Rafts, but insufficient for whole journey, would require hundreds of people. Roller logs. Not confirmed by evidence. The faces: each head shows unique features. Individual portraits, not generic, possibly depict rulers or ballplayers. Distinctive headgear on each. Remarkable realism and detail. Some show damage or deliberate defacement. The theories: who they represent. Olmec rulers, most accepted. Ball game champions, defeated enemies, ancestors or deities. How they were moved. Wooden rollers, no archaeological evidence. River rafts for water portions. Massive coordinated labor forces. Possible levering and sliding techniques. Why its mysterious engineering feat unexplained with their technology. No contemporary records of transport methods. Similar achievements elsewhere. Used wheels/animals. Sheer scale of effort for portrait sculpture. Unusual. Current status: accepted as Olmec ruler portraits. Transport methods remain speculative. Mystery 6. The Copper Scroll treasure. Among the Dead Sea Scrolls found in 1952 was one written on copper, listing 64 locations containing buried gold and silver. Despite decades of searching, none of the treasure has been found. The discovery, found in Cave 3, Qumran, discovered March 1952, made of copper, not parchment. Text hammered into metal, rolled up for 1,900 years. Had to be cut into strips to read the content. The scroll lists 64 locations of buried treasure: gold, silver, vessels, scrolls. Total value: approximately 100 to 200 tons of precious metals. Locations described with cryptic landmarks. Some entries mention copies of the scroll. The mystery: why the treasure list exists. Did the treasure really exist? Was it temple treasure hidden during First Jewish Revolt, 66 to 70 CE? Or fictional/allegorical? Why record locations on copper? Expensive. Search efforts: multiple expeditions have searched. John Allegro, 1950s, 60s. Found nothing. Vendel Jones, 1980s, 90s. Claimed finds disputed. Modern teams with technology. Unsuccessful. Israeli government restrictions on some sites. The theories: real treasure. Temple treasury hidden before Roman destruction. Locations now altered by 2,000 years of change. Landmarks no longer identifiable may have been recovered in antiquity. Fictional/ritual document. Allegory or spiritual meaning. Training exercise for scribes. Symbolic rather than literal. Encoded differently than understood. Measurements misinterpreted. Landmarks mean something else. Code within the descriptions. Why it's mysterious. Why write treasure map on expensive copper? No other Dead Sea Scrolls are treasure lists. Huge value described yet nothing found. Multiple copies mentioned but never found. Purpose of creating the list unclear. Current status: most scholars believe it describes real treasure, but location descriptions are now impossible to decipher. Mystery 5. The Lost Roman 9th Legion. Rome's 9th Legion Hispana, 5,000 elite soldiers, vanished from historical record around 120 CE. No battle, no disaster, no explanation. They simply disappeared. The Legion Legio 9 Hispana had distinguished history. Founded by Julius Caesar, 58 BC, fought in Gaul, Spain, Balkans participated in invasion of Britain, 43 Seabist at York, Eboracum. In northern England last definitively mentioned around 108 to 120 C. The disappearance, what we know. Legion definitely existed in Britain in early 100 C. Disappears from historical record after 120 C. Never mentioned in later military documents. Not listed in later Roman military rolls, no account of its destruction survives. The theories destroyed in Britain. Wiped out fighting Picts in Scotland. Accounts mention frontier unrest around 120 C. Rome built Hadrian's Wall, 122 CE. Defensive response. But Romans usually recorded military defeats transferred and destroyed elsewhere. Moved to Germania or Middle East destroyed in distant campaign. Explains British disappearance. Some evidence of Legion presence in Netherlands disbanded due to dishonor. Performed poorly in battle. Administratively dissolved records. Destroyed to erase shame. Roman practice with disgraced units gradually absorbed into other units. Not destroyed but reassigned piecemeal. No longer existed as distinct Legion. Administrative rather than military end. The evidence conflicting. Archaeological finds. Inscriptions mentioning 9th in York, early 100 C. Possible 9th Legion tile found in Netherlands, 130 CE. Lack of mass grave or battle site. Later Roman documents don't mention it. Why? It's mysterious. 5,000 soldiers don't vanish without trace. Romans kept detailed military records. No battle site ever found if transferred. Why? No later mentions. Conspiracy of silence in historical record. Current status. Historians debate between Scottish destruction, transfer to continent, or administrative dissolution. No consensus. Mystery 4. The Phaistos disc, a clay disc from Bronze Age Crete covered in stamped symbols. Possibly the first example of printing. 116 years after its discovery, no one can read it. The object discovered 1908, Phaistos Palace. Fired clay disc, 16 centimeters diameter, 241 symbols stamped on both sides, 45 distinct symbol types arranged in spiral pattern, symbols stamped with reusable seals. Movable type. The mystery why it can't be deciphered. Only one example exists. No comparison texts. Unknown language / script. Too few symbols for statistical analysis. Symbols are pictographic but meaning unclear. No Rosetta Stone. Equivalent. The theory's Minoan. Religious text. Found in palace complex. Spiral suggests ritual significant. Symbols may represent prayers / hymns. Administrative document. Lists, inventories, accounts, but seems elaborate for simple record. Hoax or game board. Some scholars question authenticity. Most accept as genuine. Bronze Age, possibly gaming instructions. Why? Its mysterious printing technology 3,000 years before Gutenberg. No other examples ever found. Language completely unknown. Can't verify any proposed translation. Current status. Heraclean. Museum, Crete. Genuine but unreadable. Mystery 3. The disappearance of the Indus Valley civilization around 1900 BCE. One of the world's most advanced civilizations, with population over 5 million vanished. No invasion, no conquest. They just abandoned their cities and disappeared. The civilization Harappan / Indus Valley civilization flourished 3300 to 1300 BCE, covered area larger than ancient Egypt population. 5+ million at peak. Sophisticated cities. Harappa, Mohenjo-Daro, advanced urban planning, sanitation, standardization. The achievements remarkably advanced. Grid plan cities with sewage systems, standardized weights and measures. Trade networks to Mesopotamia. Undeciphered script. Indus script. Multi-story buildings. Public baths. Collapse around 1900 BCE. Cities systematically abandoned. Population dispersed to smaller villages. Urban culture disappeared. Writing system forgotten. No massive destruction evidence. The theories climate change. Monsoon patterns shifted. Rivers dried up or changed course. Agriculture became impossible. Gradual migration over generations. Aryan invasion. Outdated theory. No evidence, no battle sites, no conquest signs. Later Indo-Aryan arrival was gradual. Epidemic. Disease wiped out population but would leave bodies, which weren't found. River course change. Sarasvati River dried up or changed course. Cities dependent on river trade / water. Forced abandonment. Earthquake / geological. Seismic activity altered landscape. Made cities uninhabitable. Why? It's mysterious. 5 million people don't just vanish. Sophisticated culture left. No explanation. Script never deciphered. Might contain answers. No successor civilization emerged. Complete urban collapse without war. Current status. Most evidence points to climate / environmental changes, causing gradual decline and abandonment. Mystery 2. The lost tomb of Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great died in Babylon in 323 BCE. His golden sarcophagus was displayed in Alexandria for centuries. Then it vanished. Despite 2,300 years of searching, no one has found it. The death and burial. Alexander's final resting place. Died June 323 BCE in Babylon. Body placed in honey-filled golden sarcophagus, transported to Egypt eventually. Interred in Alexandria in magnificent tomb became pilgrimage site for centuries, the historical accounts ancient sources describe. Tomb in center of Alexandria visited by Julius Caesar, Augustus, Caligula glass sarcophagus by later period last definitely mentioned visit. 215 CE Emperor. Caracalla after 4th century CE. Silence, the disappearance several possibilities. Destroyed during Christian anti-pagan campaign tsunami or earthquake buried it deliberately hidden from looters moved and location lost destroyed during Islamic conquest search effort centuries of searches. Medieval travelers sought it Napoleon allegedly searched countless modern expeditions ground penetrating radar surveys DNA testing of supposed relics, the theories location theories. Still in Alexandria under modern city moved. To Venice, St. Mark's body actually Alexander. Siwa oasis in desert Virginia. Macedonia his father's tomb discovered there. What happened? Destroyed and lost hidden by priests/Christians looted, gold melted, body discarded misidentified in another tomb. Why its mysterious one of history's most famous figures tomb was major landmark for 500 plus years visited by emperors and documented complete disappearance inexplicable modern Alexandria excavation difficult. Built over, current status. Likely beneath modern Alexandria, but construction and water table make excavation nearly impossible. Mystery 1. The Voynich manuscript, a 15th century book written in an unknown language, filled with illustrations of plants that don't exist. Cryptographers have tried for 100 years to decode it. Every attempt has failed. The manuscript discovered 1912 by Wilfred Voynich. 240 pages of vellum, some pages missing. Written in completely unknown script contains over 170,000 characters divided into sections with illustrations carbon dated to 1404 to 1438. See the content 5 main sections. Botanical. Illustrations of unidentifiable plants. Astronomical. Circular diagrams. Zodiac symbols. Biological. Naked female figures in strange plumbing. Pharmaceutical. Medicinal plants and recipes. Text only. Dense paragraphs. Of script. The writing system. Characteristics of the script. About 25 to 30 distinct characters combined into words. Word frequency follows natural language patterns, but no language matches its structure. No spaces between words in some sections. Decoding attempts. Major efforts. World War I/World War II codebreakers. Failed. Modern computer analysis. Inconclusive. Claimed solutions. None verified. AI analysis. Identifies patterns. No meaning. The theory's real language/cipher. Encoded known language lost or artificial. Language but resists every cryptographic technique. Hoax. Meaningless gibberish to sell to collectors but too complex. Too consistent. Why maintain hoax across 240 pages. Lost knowledge. Medical/alchemical knowledge. Plants extinct or misidentified. Knowledge suppressed by church. Constructed language. Artificial language for secretive purposes. Requires key to decode. Creator died without revealing key. Why it's mysterious. Every page is covered in text, yet means nothing. Decipherable. Illustrations don't match real. Plants/constellation. Statistical analysis shows it's not random. Multiple hands may have worked on it. No similar manuscript exists. Current status. Yale University's Beinecke Library. Unsolved despite computer analysis and AI attempts. Before we conclude, here are 5 more baffling cases. 11. The Antikythera mechanism. Ancient Greek computer from 100 BC calculated astronomical positions. Technology not seen again for 1,400 years. How did Greeks develop such sophistication? Why was technology lost? 12. The Nazca Lines. Massive geoglyphs in Peru. Desert only visible from air. Created 500 BCE. 500 C. Purpose unknown. Ritual, astronomical, water. Why create art only visible from sky? 13. The bog bodies. Preserved Bronze/Iron Age humans in peat bogs show signs of ritual killing found across northern Europe. Why killed? What rituals? What culture? Individual stories lost forever. 14. The Rongorongo script. Easter Island hieroglyphic writing. Only 26 objects survive. Language/meaning unknown. Culture that created it collapsed. Last people who could read it died. 15. The Pyrie Reis map. 1513 Ottoman map shows Antarctica's coastline, under ice. Antarctica not discovered until 1820. How did cartographer know? Claims of ancient sources. We've explored 10 major historical mysteries, each supported by physical evidence, each investigated by experts, each remaining completely unsolved despite modern technology. What these mysteries teach U.S. history has limits. Not everything leaves sufficient evidence. Time erases information irretrievably. Some questions may never be answered. The past is stranger than we imagine. Lost civilizations possessed knowledge we've forgotten. Ancient peoples achieved things we can't explain. History isn't a Straight line of progress mystery has value. Unsolved puzzles drive continued research. They challenge our assumptions. They remind us how much we don't know. They keep history alive and engaging the difference between mystery and pseudoscience. These are legitimate mysteries because verified physical evidence exists. Experts acknowledge uncertainty. Multiple theories are scientifically plausible. No one claims absolute certainty. They are not. Alien intervention, no evidence. Lost advanced civilizations, no. Archaeological support, supernatural phenomena, natural explanations possible. Conspiracies, insufficient motive/means. The future of these mysteries, some may be solved. New archaeological discoveries, advanced DNA analysis, better dating techniques, AI, pattern recognition, interdisciplinary research, but some mysteries may remain forever. Too much time has passed, too little evidence survived, key information was never recorded, physical evidence has degraded beyond recovery. Why? We search despite low odds. We keep investigating because each mystery could reveal something profound. The search itself advances knowledge. Sometimes long unsolved mysteries break open. The human desire to know is irrepressible. Living with mystery, perhaps the most mature response is accepting. Some questions don't have answers. Uncertainty is part of history. Mystery can coexist with scholarship. Not knowing is okay. If these 10 unsolved historical mysteries have shown you that the past holds secrets modern science still can't crack, smash that like button and subscribe for more investigations into history's deepest puzzles. And here's my question for you. Which of these 10 mysteries do you think is most likely to be solved in your lifetime? And which will remain forever mysterious? Drop your predictions in the comments. I'm genuinely curious which mysteries you think will crack. Hit that notification bell. Until then, remember, the past isn't a solved puzzle. It's an ongoing mystery with chapters we haven't yet read and questions we haven't yet thought to ask. History's greatest gift isn't answers. It's the reminder that there's always more to discover.